Imagine finding a girl frozen in the snow, her eyes wide open as if she's still alive, yet her body is as cold as ice. This is the story of the frozen girl, a tale so disturbing it has haunted everyone who's heard it. Tonight, we'll uncover why this story is so terrifying. Are you ready? Act 1. The beginning of the tale. This story begins in a quiet, remote village, where winters are harsh and snow covers everything for months. Long ago, a family lived in a small cabin at the edge of the forest, a father, a mother, and their young daughter. She was only 8 years old, with bright blue eyes and hair as white as the snow. They were happy, but something about their daughter was different. The villagers whispered about her, saying she had an eerie presence. Some claimed they'd seen her playing alone in the woods, speaking to shadows. Her parents didn't believe the rumors, but one winter night, everything changed. Act 2. The Disappearance. On a particularly cold evening, the little girl wandered outside to play in the snow. She often stayed close to the house, but this time she didn't come back. Her parents searched for hours, calling her name, their voices drowned out by the storm. By morning, they found her tracks leading deep into the forest, where no child should ever go. The trail ended near a frozen river, but there was no sign of her. The villagers joined the search, but days passed with no trace of the girl. The family was heartbroken, and the village mourned. But weeks later, something chilling happened. Act 3. The Return. One night, the father heard a knock on the door. When he opened it, he saw her, his daughter, standing barefoot in the snow. She was pale, her skin almost translucent, and her bright blue eyes seemed to glow in the dark. At first, her parents were overjoyed. They hugged her, wrapped her in blankets, and sat her by the fire. But the girl didn't speak. She just stared at the flames, her expression blank. When they touched her hands, they were as cold as ice. That night, strange things began to happen. The fire in the hearth wouldn't stay lit, and the house grew unbearably cold, even with every blanket and coat they owned. Act 4. The Haunting Truth. The next day, the family called the villagers for help, but when they arrived, they froze in terror. The little girl stood in the doorway, staring at them with those glowing blue eyes. One of the older villagers stepped forward and whispered, "That's not your daughter." They explained that the forest was cursed, and anyone who disappeared into its depths could never return, not as they were. What had come back wasn't the girl they knew, but something else. Something pretending to be her. The parents refused to believe it. But that night, the father woke to find his daughter standing over him, her icy breath chilling his face. She whispered, "Come play with me," and her voice echoed like the wind through the trees. Act 5. Narrator, voiceover. The mother begged the father to take their daughter back to the forest, hoping it would break the curse. But he couldn't bring himself to do it. Instead, they decided to stay up all night, watching her. Hours passed and the girl didn't move. But as dawn approached, they heard it, a faint scratching sound coming from the door. The father opened it, expecting to see an animal, but instead he found footprints leading away from the house. The girl was gone. They never saw her again, but the cabin was never the same. No fire could warm it, and the sound of her laughter echoed through the halls at night. To this day, locals say the forest near the village is cursed. Travelers report seeing a little girl in the snow, her glowing blue eyes watching them from a distance. Those who follow her never return. Why is this story so disturbing? Maybe it's because it reminds us that not everything lost can be found, and not everything that returns is what it seems. Would you dare to enter the cursed forest? Let us know in the comments below. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more spine-chilling tales. And remember, some stories are better left untold.